Hi, welcome to Conversing Conversations. This is Cameron, and today I'm taking a look at Transformers Generations Legacy Evolution Animated Prowl. And Prowl here, he's still a police vehicle, but as we can see, instead of turning into a cop car, he turns into a motorcycle in the animated world. I originally didn't watch animated. I just wasn't into the Transformers fandom when it came out, but going back and watching it a couple years after the fact in like 2013 or something, I really enjoyed the show. I didn't get as many of the animated toys as I have other lines because when I got into it, like they weren't really on shelves anymore. So I've been really excited that the Evolutions line has been giving us, opportunity to get new toys of designs from shows like Animated and Prime and things like that. And yeah, Prowl here turns into a cool looking futuristic motorcycle, and I think overall the appearance is pretty solid. I do have complaints. The first things are the things that I like. I like that the weapon integration goes into the sidewalls and is pretty subtle if you're looking at it. The plastic colors look nice. The gray is a dark gray. We've got this lighter beige. The gold plastic actually looks pretty good here compared to the gold plastic that, for example, is on Metal Hawk that I'll be talking about later. The black plastic and black paint match pretty well. We've got a nice little bit of silver on these vents up here. Gold trim around the black motorcycle. It just looks really nice. Comparing it, for example, to G2 Road Rage, another legacy motorcycle. These are both deluxes, and I think they look pretty cool next to each other. You can also see the similarity in design philosophy. It's not the exact same transformation scheme, but it's similar, and I do like that. I do like that everything on Prowl here is integrated, whereas Road Rage, obviously this front section kind of comes off, but they look pretty nice together. And then since Prowl is that famous ninja bot, we do have another ninja bot from Animated, the Jazz mold, and this one's repainted as Jackpot, but they look pretty good together. Obviously, this is a massive motorcycle, but, comparing the design style, it's not like it's animated reinterpreted, but I think it still looks pretty good next to a traditional animated toy there. And yeah, overall, Prowl looks pretty good. He's got a little kickstand for articulation. His wheels, complaint number one, the wheels can roll pretty well. If you notice, that front one does not always roll. That is really just a result of these ninja stars hanging up and catching every now and then. You can take these and fold them out. If you want to twist it out, but I don't think it articulates that like that. But yeah, you have two of these pieces, that same gold plastic. I think as a weapon, maybe I would have preferred a little bit of brush paint on the blades, but these are his accessories. Yeah, once those are gone, the wheels tend to roll a little better. And then my other complaint really is this gappage. The animated toys, like with the Jazz mold here, is very, very solid looking. Everything's kind of connected. There's not a ton of gaps. Here we've got this gap in the center, this gap in the back end. It just hangs together a little loose. This whole back assembly, the wheel tabs in, and that's nice, or the toe tabs in, and that's nice, but it doesn't tab into the center crotch piece. And then this back piece doesn't really tab in here. And if you notice, my forearms don't want to connect super solidly. So those, I think, are more significant nitpicks than just, the plastic colors. It's a little unfortunate that he does seem to have these issues in this mode. I guess it looks like the pressure on the elbows is what creates the separation, and there's only one connection point back here. This should have had two, one here and one here, kind of interlocking to make sure it holds together. That's an unfortunate miss on their part. But he's got his police lights, and he looks all right. if I was like doing a number scale, this is like, I don't know number scale, but a grade, it's like a B minus. I like that we got a new design. I really like that we got a new animated design. I just wish it had been cleaned up. There's some simple things that I think could have improved this. But it's still a neat looking motorcycle. And let's put his kickstand back up. I think, as a figure on its own, it still stands up pretty well. And to transform Prowl, we're going to come in. First thing we're going to do, if we look here, there's a seam, and I think it's hidden really well, but there's a seam between what is his toe and the front of the motorcycle. We want to come in and try and pull that out, bring it down, rotate it out that far. The sidewalls of the motorcycle front section are tabbed into his toes. We can bring both of them up here and here, get those out of the way. We can also bring the handlebars up while we're at it, just rotating those as far as they go. And like I said, this back section, once that's untabbed, everything else is kind of unattached. Bring in the kickstand, bring down the leg like so. We're going to rotate the legs both so they face the same direction, and the outside of the wheel wells are on the outside of his legs. The hands separate themselves because of how weak that connection is, but they come out, and we can, when he's on the ground, we can flip that seat up, bring his head up, and while his legs are not turned to be in the correct direction, we want to take the whole assembly of the front of the motorcycle, bring it down, bring it down, there we go, and we just keep bringing it down until it forms his iconic chest area, flipping the wings up behind him. Now we can rotate the feet and bring the hands out. Same thing on this side. And then the shoulders come down. And here is Prowl in his robot mode. And I think he looks pretty dang cool. We'll do our look at his robot mode and comparisons after we announce the winner of our giveaway.
All right, it is time to announce the winner of Transformers Generations Legacy Evolution. I've been saying evolutions this whole time. I guess it's just singular. But we've got Shrapnel here. So over on the left are all the comments on the video. If you wanted to enter the giveaway, you got a heart. Everyone got a thumbs up because I always appreciate hearing everyone's insights on everything. And over on the right are all our entries. We had 22 for this giveaway, so ran between 1 and 22, and our winner is number 11. 11 is, Gen 1 Red Alert. Congratulations. I think it's been a minute. Gen 1 Red Alert, congrats on Shrapnel. And let's see, what did you say was your... the MP line. Yeah, saving up for Skyfire. Skyfire is a pretty cool looking toy. Not for me, but it is exciting that is what excites you. Congrats again, Gen 1 Red Alert. And let's get back to the review.
So this is, a new interpretation of the animated Prowl design, and I think it looks pretty good. It's not like people were thinking, oh, it's going to be animated G1-ified. I don't think it's super G1-ified, but I just think it's like the same general aesthetic, maybe toned down a little bit to place it within the Generations main line. I do like how clean he looks. That's something that I think the animated figures in general got right. So it was important to me for this to be satisfying for him to maintain that clean profile, and he does that. That head sculpt is real nice. He's got that classic animated chin. His visor is well painted. He still looks like Prowl, and the animated Prowl was a reinterpretation of the G1 Prowl, so it all like feeds in on itself. But that looks really good. It is a very well articulated head. There's a lot of motion in that neck. We've got 360 on the shoulder. It can go out that far. We can bend slightly past 90 degrees. There's a bicep swivel. No wrist articulation because the wrist folds out in transformation. Clean swivel on the hips. Due to his ninja powers, he can actually go further than the full Van Damme, which I really appreciate. We do have a 90-degree bend on the knee, thigh swivel, and then plenty of articulation. There's a ball joint on the back of the heel, along with articulation around the wheel. So, you know, you can get him in all sorts of crazy ninja poses that he has no problem holding down with his ankle tilt and all that stuff. I think it looks pretty dang good. And he can, of course, hold his throwing stars, maybe. They don't have a 5mm peg anywhere on them, so you do kind of got to just like sit him in his hands. Or you can, of course, if you want to keep one hand empty, fold this up, fold it back up, and it can rest in his, like, I guess, side pocket on his leg kind of thing. And one hand is like the open 5mm peg hand. The other hand is closed more. There we go. So, you know, you can do that. And yeah, he looks really good all around in robot mode. Again, I love the colors. No new colors here, but the design looks really, really solid. And he feels like, I was saying he's not that solid in motorcycle mode, and that's true, but he does feel more solid than the Legacy RC design, which again, here we've got Road Rager, and we can see the difference in kind of how solid the different legs, like how thick Prowl's legs are compared to these look a little thinner. And yeah, it's a fembot design, but you know, just more solid and more massive all around, especially because he incorporates both wheels into his design. I think out of the two of these, I definitely prefer the animated Prowl mold, and I'd be curious to see if this gets remolded into other characters, other motorcycle characters. Then finally comparing him to the Jazz mold here, and we can see kind of there's not a like insignificant size difference between the two in robot mode, but I do like that, especially because Jazz turns into a car. I like that he is in fact, you know, bigger than Prowl, and I think they look pretty good next to each other. You can see again the kind of traditional animated design and the features of it compared to the reinterpretation. I'd be curious to see if we get an animated Jazz in the future. I assume we'd first get like animated Bulkhead, Bumblebee, that sort of stuff, Ratchet. But yeah, I think they look really good together. Again, even though that Prowl is like a reinterpretation and some of his design aesthetic, like his chin and things, have been like toned down, I still think that they look really nice together. And Prowl, I think, is a figure that I definitely recommend picking up, even at retail. At $25, he is super solid in robot mode. And if that's like, you know, the transformation's a little futzy, the motorcycle has those gaps and connection stuff that just feels like just a miss. Like it's not, I can't imagine it was cut for budget reasons. Those tabs just should have been included. But despite all that, I think if you can get them for $25, yeah, it's a solid, it's one of the better motorcycles that we've gotten at the deluxe price point. It's a cool, iconic animated design, which is really neat to see. And yeah, I think that's a thumbs up from me all around. All right, that's it for the video. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you all on the next one. Bye, everybody!